and that will tell you how important learning by heart is.
My friend, and he is a big fan of Napoleon Bonapart, and he wants to fight for him. Both, sir. So it happens when
He was tall, he was sturdy, he had a robust appearance. Napoleon Bonaparte went to him and he asked him.
Okay, so now Napoleon got irritated. He became impatient.
At school, usually we come across a word by heart. By heart करे क्या आंसर आप? Okay, even teachers sometimes use it. कि आपको कल 4 आंसर by heart करके आना है. So it's quite a common word, and today he asked me as well. By heart is a wrong usage. The proper expression is learn by heart. Dil, heart. Okay, learn by heart. कोई चीज को समझ के याद करना. And on the other side, we have one more expression, learn by rote. रट्टा मारना. And here we are not bothered about the meanings. We are not bothered about comprehending the concept. समझना नहीं है, खाली रट्टा मार लेना है. उसको हम बोलते learn by rote. और ये क्या है, समझ के याद कर रहे हैं. That is called learn by heart. Okay, and I'll tell you an interesting story that will, like, it's a funny story, a humorous one, and that will tell you how important learning by heart is. And we should avoid learning by rote. Because mashallah, you have been coming here every single day and you're coming across many grammatical concepts. You should not just learn them by rote. Rote learning nahi karna. You have to understand a concept, comprehend it, understand it, then learn it. It will benefit you. Otherwise, it will not. So the story goes on something like that. Have you ever heard the name Napoleon Bonaparte? Who was he, Marna?
Warrior.
A warrior. He was a general, army general. He was an emperor. Some people say he was a good man. Some people say he was a bad man. Okay. Anyhow, he was quite famous and notorious for his wars. For his entire life, he fought many wars. He died very young. He died at the age of 52 only. He was a French. He was from France. So one fine day, in his camp of the army camp, some soldiers were sitting and they were having a cup of tea. They were having tea. Okay, a person came and he introduced them his friend who was from Sweden. Who was from Sweden. He was tall, he was young, he was a robust person. So his friend told that, see, he is my friend and he is a big fan of Napoleon Bonaparte and he wants to fight for him. उनके बहुत बड़े फैन हैं उन्होंने, उनके से लड़ना चाह रहे. And he did not know a single word of French. Okay, he knew Swedish language and he was bad at learning the languages. But they didn't require that language here. They wanted something very brave, someone very brave, a lion-hearted person, and that person fit the requirement. He was serving the purpose. वो जो काम था वो काम पूरा कर रहा था. So they included him in the army, शामिल कर लिया उनको, and he fought bravely in many wars. Okay, he was a kind of invincible. He earned a name for him, naam kamaye. But one thing is still lacking. He was unable to speak French. He never tried it. कोशिश भी नहीं करे, सीखे भी नहीं. So one day, the news was Napoleon Bonaparte is going to visit the camp. कि उन्होंने आने वाले हैं, कौन? बादशाह आने वाले हैं. So everybody was worried because you have to be well disciplined. If he asks you something, you should be able to answer him. And this person, he was entangled in the idea of worries. He didn't know a word of French. So his friends taught him. See, usually Napoleon Bonaparte, whenever he comes, he asks 3 common questions. The first question he asks, how old are you? The first question was, how old are you? And the second question was, for how long have you been fighting for me? And the third question was, did you join any of my last 2 campaigns? जो माजी में जो 2 जंगें हुई उसमें आप थे क्या? So these 3 questions, and they taught him how to respond to them. The first answer would be, what was his age? The first question is, how old are you? So he was 23 years. The first answer, 23 years, sir. Second, for how long have you been fighting? So he was fighting for 3 years. So 3 years, sir. And third answer, have you attended my last 2 campaigns? Both, sir. Okay, 3 answers. He learned by rote. He learned by rote, not by heart. Okay, what was the three answers? Come again. The first one was, 23 years, sir. Second, 3 years, sir. Third, both, sir. So Napoleon came, he was inspecting, he was examining the conditions there, he was meeting the soldiers, he was asking after them, कौन कैसे क्या कर रहे हैं, so पूछ रहे कर रहे हैं दोनों. And everybody is standing there, motionless, पूरे ठहरे हुए, because he is army general, he is the king, okay. So they revered him, they honored him, they respected him. So nobody moved a muscle, कोई हिल रहा भी नहीं था. That time, this person, the Swedish, he was murmuring. He was learning by rote. 23, 3, both sir. 23, 3, both sir. Okay, he was learning the answer by rote. And Napoleon caught his sight. Declares Queen, what is he doing? And he was quite a unique personality. He was tall, he was sturdy, he had a robust appearance. Napoleon Bonaparte went to him and he asked him. At this time, he changed the pattern of the question. Okay? The first question he asked him, okay, for how long have you been fighting for me? Instead of asking, how old are you? He asked, for how long have you been fighting for me? He said, 23 years, sir. 23 years, sir. Then he got confused. He looks very young. How could he fight 23 years for me? Then he asked the second question, how old are you? He said, 3 years, sir. Okay? So now Napoleon got irritated. He became impatient. Okay? He said, either you are mad or I am mad. Either you are mad or I am mad. So he said, both, sir. So it happens when we learn something without making efforts to understand it. So learn everything by heart, not by rote. Or by heart तो word English में है नहीं.